Welcome to Permanently Geek's Watch With Us podcast commentaries. If you are unfamiliar with what we do, generally we watch a movie. We watch a movie, TV show, a TV movie, or
movie,
something,
TV.
short film, whatever, and we comment over it. If you listened last week, you know that we watched Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Or as we like to call it, Superman 4.
Streben nach Frieden.
And if you enjoyed that, you know it. If you listened through the whole thing, you know at the very end we decided we were going to watch the deleted scenes and do a commentary on the deleted scenes, which is the first time we have ever done that.
I am excitement.
You are excitement. So if you have the DVD, the Blu-ray, and you have the deleted scenes, you can queue them up and watch them. If you haven't, we're just going to comment through them and just sort of talk about what we see and the madness that we see, and maybe even cue the audio so you can hear the weird temp score that they have over this footage. But I am your host. I'm Randy. Sitting next to me is
Michael McFarlane.
and
Kevin Conaway.
and this is it's not
anymore.
We used to call this show Commentary Time. Now we call it Watch With Us. So pardon my inappropriate behavior by calling it Commentary Time.
You're fired.
God, I'm
Fired.
so inappropriate. So here
Get
we go.
out of your house.
This is the deleted scenes for Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
I'm excited for these.
This is
Based
probably
on how great the movie was, I'm really excited to see what was cut out of it.
31 minutes of deleted scenes.
Yeah.
There probably won't be any subtitles or anything for this, so we'll have to just bear with it. But there's footage from the first movie of Brando, which we can't show. We can't show him because that would be probably a massive issue. This is all footage from the original Superman film, which was a visually just a spectacular film for.
By
70s
by comparison, even just seeing some of this, it's like wow.
Yeah.
The first
there's
film
a
in this
lot
series
going on in
was pretty beautiful
Yeah.
compared to
What we saw in this movie. We saw in Superman 4, which is a very low budget, campy, not very good movie.
I mean, 50% of the special effects from the film were just reused footage from earlier films. So
Those 20 seconds right there were better than the entire movie.
So we're getting a sense here in this scene. It's a little bit about Clark Kent's life in his apartment complex, and it's Clark barking like a dog at.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
that's happening right now.
that is what is happening. So
it's amazing how
strange
dingy
scene.
that apartment complex
Yeah,
is. Like,
it's very much
seriously.
like Peter Parker in like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
He's got
How did that
dingy
not make the
grossness.
cut? Oh, this kid.
Oh, and now we're in the news deleted scene.
Young Randy.
I know what Superman would do. Yeah, he looks a lot like me.
That kid's got a little bit of a mullet going on.
Yeah.
Both of them do, actually.
That's Mark Wahlberg.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it is. You know what? For sake of the commentary, that's Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
There they
we are stating that to be a fact.
making fun of
We
him.
don't know for sure that it's not.
There's the plate.
There's
that
the...
you can actually see the plate there.
Wow.
Because they hadn't deleted it yet. Now there was a lot more involving this Jeremy kid, which, I mean, they cut around him probably because his performance was hideous.
Because he has a really weird way of speaking.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's like, people are going to think he's mentally challenged.
They're
Are
all
we
like,
trying to write the
"Holy
character that way?
Shit,
Yeah.
Superman's here. Oh, so did somebody tell him that his dick is out? His dick is legit out right now. I think it must have fallen out when he was flying. He just hasn't noticed yet.
Just flopping around.
It just like popped out. Just like, whoop, there's his dick. Superman, your dick is hanging out. He's like, I know. Superman's a pervert.
I always take it out when I visit schools.
Oh my God, we've turned Superman into the biggest pervert. He's like a rapist in the Superman 4 commentary, and now he's just a pedophile pervert.
He just walks around schools.
There's
stick
there's
hanging out.
somebody listening who's like, oh, Superman's nothing like that. I hate you guys.
Why are you
Sucks.
doing this?
Sucks.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this to my beloved icons? Metropolis State Building. Not the Empire State Building. Nope.
Totally different building.
So here we are with this is the subplot that's largely the very first kind of Superman. Let's maybe pop the audio on and take a listen to some of this.
Nuclear.
You also get a chance here to hear Lenny.
What, dude? I was just air drumming.
To nothing.
Yeah.
Every day, the Earth is bombarded by radioactive cosmic rays. For millions of years,
Just an
radiation from single cells and us.
These garbage cans are heavy.
John Cryer, ladies and gentlemen.
This protoplasm that I've grown from Superman.
So yeah, he makes this first version. I'm gonna cut the audio off here again, just so we don't get too much of any sort of copyright infringement tag here. He builds Nuclear Man actually in this facility first. That version does not work, and then he builds a second version later. But I am going to turn the audio on as soon as we see him, because the temp audio they chose for this is just atrocious. And I mean, there's nothing about this that works. I mean,
Were those two
I know.
women just sitting there doing their nails while also wearing
Yeah.
radiation suits?
I love it. All right, and here we go. Okay, maybe I'll kick the audio back on again. And here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nuclear Man. That's Gene Hackman probably really laughing because this is so stupid.
Come on,
Come here, buddy. Come here, little guy.
And there you go.
Wow.
What?
Those are some
Yeah.
music cues.
And yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's the stupidest thing ever.
Why, so why did they cut this out of the movie?
He called you father.
Oh
What a moron.
my God.
What
This
is
is-
covering his junk? Is that like a pasta strainer?
It's like it's like a thing so that, I don't know.
Just
There's his butt. So this is the music they chose. This is was the official track. Actually, for many years, the tracks went missing, and no one knew what the music cues really were. Alexander Courage, who did the score for this, or at least the arrangement for the score, that music had been lost. And then shortly after this, the DVD of this came out, they found the official tracks without the temp music. But because no one really cared, Warner Brothers didn't put, because people really wanted to see an extended cut, to see this, all together, just to see what it would look like. And unfortunately, it's this is the nightmare we have to deal with, is this god awful. So this is a very weird scene. This is the first Nuclear Man. Very, very childish. It's like, it makes like Toka and Razar from like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze look like characters from The Godfather. That's how juvenile this is.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't understand how even in the script they could have,
They
how
thought
on
this worked.
paper they thought this was going to work at all.
I think they really thought, oh, this will be funny. And this seemed to be more of them trying to capture the pluckiness of Superman 2 and 3. But unfortunately, it just
Going through
does
the
not
roof
work.
again.
And I mean, this, at the end of the day, this stuff was cut. So, and it was rightfully cut.
Right.
It's
so
awful.
at least
They acknowledged that it wasn't
in
any
a
good.
production with numerous terrible decisions. They at
They-
least got this one right.
They did cut
of
the
leaving
worst
this
decisions.
I was really wondering going into these deleted scenes, like, what could have been so bad that it didn't actually make it into that movie? And
Yeah.
now that
Now-
question is answered.
Now we know.
Yeah.
I like how, although actually having him try to fly through the ceiling and failing,
Yeah.
that's a pretty nice little
That's a
like
funny bit.
foreshadowing
Yeah.
of the the scenes later
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, I agree.
where actual Nuclear Man successfully flies through like 7 floors over and
Yeah.
over, except they just show the same footage of him busting
Yeah.
out through the ceiling
Yeah.
repeatedly.
So this is there's everything about this is fucked.
Lenny, did you
in a
draw
weird
on
way.
my pictures of Superman? Naughty
I'm
Lenny.
gonna see if there's subtitles for this because I'm really curious. There is not.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. So now there's a nightclub, and this is Nuclear Man's very first outfit and the terrifying hole in his chest.
Wow.
I don't understand. Superman invites him out here, and they have something of a fight in front of a Burger King.
Burger King.
Very product placement-y.
Oh man, poor Burger King. They lost that product placement.
Yeah, they had
scene
their
cut.
Burger King is
replacement
actually they are. It isn't. It actually is still featured when he fights Nuclear Man in the finale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they managed to fit it in even.
Yeah. For years, this was footage that like you only saw stills of. I remember like seeing stills of this and being like, "What the fuck is this? Like, when did that happen? I don't remember that." You know, I had actually seen a TV cut that actually has some deleted scenes in it, and so I always knew that there were deleted scenes to this movie. But many years later, when I was much older, like I discovered that there was an entire subplot that essentially got cut out involving a first Nuclear Man. And seeing this footage and seeing just stills of it and being like, wow, it becomes one of those things as a fan of movies, you just like, you want to see what that looked like what the hell was that cool, was that funny, was that bad, was it because when you see the stills, it just looks so interesting and different that you want to see it. And I'm not gonna lie, this was one of the great disappointments of my life, seeing this footage.
Seeing
one of the great like
scenes and
cinema, realizing that, oh no, this was cut for the right reason. And,
Yep.
I've seen a fan cut, a fan edit that takes this footage and does actually put it together and assembles it into the movie and creates something of an assembly edit, which is not good. The movie's, I'd say, close to 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes or so. It's pretty long.
I feel like that fan's time could have been spent better doing literally anything else.
You are probably correct.
Yeah.
But thank you to the fan editor for doing it, because it provided fans with at least some catharsis in being able to see what that movie would have looked like, even if it wouldn't have worked. And clearly, from what you're seeing here, it did not. It did not work.
Nope.
You pop the audio on here, and just the audio just got killed. So whatever. So yeah. So now that's pretty much the end of Nuclear Man version 1. He's dispatched relatively quickly. There was some footage of him inside the Metro Club that I don't believe is on this disc, or maybe it's later in the deleted scenes. But the footage inside is either lost or whatever.
Are those the remains of Nuclear Man? That
yes,
he's bringing in the pooper scooper.
If you noticed in the scene in the actual film, they do take like ashes and throw ashes in there.
Oh, so it's a little pinch of the first.
Yeah, the little pinch of the first Nuclear Man when they make Nuclear Man 2.0, and this had to be really kind of sad for the actor who played the first Nuclear Man. Was probably really bummed, but it's for the best because his performance is really terrible. Sorry, actor who played.
In part, it's got to be his own fault because
so bad.
I mean, yes, it was a terribly written bit, but it could have been performed better than that.
It can only help his career that no one saw it.
Yeah.
Right. It's for the best for
it's
everyone
like being
involved.
fired from the set of The Room. You might be really upset about it at the time, but you're in the room. So.
Yeah.
Like dodge that bullet.
Dodged a bullet. Dustbuster.
And Dustbuster for all your Nuclear Man vacuuming needs. God, I hope they paid for product placement.
They probably did. There was a lot of product placement in the fight with Superman. There was like American Express, Burger King. I saw a couple other ones. There's the plate from the first movie that we're using again. Putting it in, making it look. It's not quite real.
She has some strong wrists.
She is laying on a table.
Wee.
Superman. Superman's like, I'm going to kiss you when this is all over and you're not going to remember any of it.
Because I'm a creeper.
I'm a creepy asshole. Yeah. Superman.
Yeah, the whole move with like, I'm going to drop her. It's going to be hilarious.
Look at him. He's just like giddy as all could be. This is like weird because this was kind of in the movie.
Yeah, this...
Yeah. This wasn't
So
the
far,
deleted
this
scene.
none of
That
this.
that
Oh
there,
yeah,
I think,
they,
was-
okay,
the fact
they-
that he almost threw her into a mountain.
So
Yeah.
they cut it down so he was slightly less of an asshole.
Yeah.
But they still had him be an asshole. So, they realized that what he was doing was really dickish.
Yeah.
They're like, but we're going to keep it just like,
We'll
Yeah.
make it a little bit less
yeah,
dickish.
tone down the dickery
Yeah.
slightly.
And now we're in San Francisco, and he throws her. And she's apparently capable of flying because she's flying.
Yep.
She's
that's,
legit flying.
That's
right
what's
now.
happening
Yeah.
now.
That makes
How,
no sense.
how did that happen?
Come on, Superman 4, The
Interesting.
Quest for Peace. And we're in a different location now. And, and another different location. And he throws her
Yeah,
again.
throwing her again.
He's really enjoying throwing her.
Yeah.
That's probably because Margot Kidder was like, get this fucking asshole away from me. I don't want to deal with him.
Yeah.
Ooh, she's going to land. I mean, you don't want to dive. You don't want to move your arms and dive in the general direction of the ground because you're, this
It was
is
one
not,
they never got around to finishing the
this is
compositing on.
not physics at all.
Nope.
This is not physics.
Neil
He's just
deGrasse
like,
Tyson would be very
wasn't that the,
disappointed.
silly Lois just flying through the
Yeah.
air.
Just. Gotcha.
Whatevs. NBD.
Wow,
No
this
big
is a
deal.
really extended sequence too. Like,
Yeah. This is almost as bad as the sequence that they have in the first movie. Because that's like my least favorite part of the movie is the flying sequence with him and Lois. Because it's just sort of like, oh my God, can the scene just end? And there's that whole like, can you read my mind bit where she like talks. So now we're the subplot, the first act subplot is essentially over, and now this is now more structured to be the middle act, which makes more sense. Which is why the film has an abrupt sort of its final act is maybe 10 minutes long.
No, actually, I mean the pacing of the movie would have made a lot more sense if they'd had the first Nuclear Man in
It'd be
there.
more boring.
Right, but it would have, it would make more sense
Yeah.
as far as the structure goes.
You both can fly. Just FYI, you don't have to fall. You both have the capability of flying, so you can just stop falling and fly.
Like that.
And
Whee!
there we go. Superman. God, it's just so lame. There was a deleted scene, and this might be it. In their fight, there's like a tornado. Yep, this is the tornado scene. This actually, for many, many years, this was the scene I like saw because they showed this like on like if you'd watch this on like TBS and stuff, they'd show bits and pieces of this, and like I remember thinking like the tornado from like Wizard of Oz.
Right,
was
no,
more
it's exactly.
convincing.
Like, wow, how did they step back so far in
Yeah.
special effects from that tornado to this one?
That's a good tornado, and that's a really simple effect too. It was just like steel wool essentially on like a thing that was rolling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
If you're not watching a human child just flung into the tornado, and a very obvious doll effect, and
Oh,
this was one I
hilariously so. Really, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
this was
Yep.
one I saw like I remember buying this film on DVD and like being like, where's the tornado scene? But a lot of this footage was actually done in the version I saw. So a lot of TV cuts, sometimes they cut something out for pacing or for whatever, for commercials, and then they add in, they might be 4 minutes off, and so they add a 4-minute little deleted scene back into the movie.
She looks
and,
very unimpressed with the tornado.
no, she is.
Yeah. Meh.
She's like meh.
Yeah,
I've seen
she
better.
was entirely unfazed by
Yeah.
being whipped around inside
Yep.
a tornado.
The weather's
Tornado
perfect
number
now.
150 for me.
beautiful
No
weather out
big
there
Yeah,
deal.
right now, yeah.
that cleared up real quick.
Yeah, it did.
Superman, is he gonna use his?
I'm over here.
Come fight me, Superman.
Now we're in space.
It just went from being in Kansas to being in space. We're in space now.
So basically, Kansas had almost no purpose except for him to save a little girl from
Yeah.
a tornado. Okay.
Tornado. Here we go with more footage of Russia, and this is a whirlwind of nonsense that we're seeing here.
It really is.
I was curious to see how far into it we were. Did you imagine this movie being a half hour longer?
No. Wait, didn't they get rid of all the? bombs?
Yeah, you'd think that they would have gotten rid of all. Apparently, they're still firing stuff out there's a second net in between all the stuff.
Yeah,
that Superman's
like,
doing.
is that just not a nuclear missile? Is that just a normal kind of missile? Like,
It's hydrogen.
and is the most efficient way, if you feel like killing Russian leadership, to point a missile at them at super close range?
He could just blow on them and make them all icicles.
That's
one
true.
of his
Yeah,
powers.
he has that power.
He's not wearing the right pair of shoes right now.
He could go and scratch them.
That was that scene. He pointed a missile at the back, and we're
see
back
it.
at that scene.
We're back in Red Square again. Okay.
We're talking about things and stuff.
People
Lex
are applauding.
Luthor. Are we going to make a third nuclear man? That does not happen. He does not make a third nuclear man. Though that would have been interesting to make a third one.
Oh, they could have done that in the sequel.
So shouldn't he be like in hiding because he escaped from prison?
Yeah, no one seems to give a shit that he's
yeah.
like in a Well, there
How
he
did he
goes.
get to
Lex
Russia?
Luthor arrested. He apparently got arrested somehow.
So was that how he had gotten arrested in the first place, or was him being on the chain gang breaking rocks at the beginning? Was that from one of the earlier movies?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, he was put in jail at the end of Superman 2, so I'm guessing he was in jail still. I don't really know the internal logic of Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. How do we say
it's
it?
not?
That's assuming that there is some.
It's flawed. That would be my official
it's a
my
good
official
word for
opinion
it.
on that. It's flawed internal logic on Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
In the same way the Hindenburg was.
This was flawed, or the Titanic was flawed.
New Coke.
Flawed. New Coke was flawed. This was probably one of those movies where they were just like, "Oh God, this movie sucks. Let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. We'll get it done. It's not going to be good, but hopefully, no one will notice." Because sometimes you have movies like World War Z is a prime example of a film that was like troubled production, rewrote the film, basically shot the film twice, and the ultimate end product is not terrible.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
it's
I
not.
enjoyed
It's
that
not
film.
bad. I liked it.
It's slight.
Yeah.
It's consequential.
It barely resembles the source material.
Yeah, but it is an entertaining, enjoyable sort of romp.
Yeah, I've watched it more than once all the way through.
Yeah.
On purpose.
And so I think it's one of those where it's just sort of not a sometimes that works. Sometimes a flawed production equals a good film. Sometimes a good film equals a flawed production, or in this case, a flawed production, flawed script equals
A steaming pile of
pile of like arguably one of the at least top 10 worst comic book movies ever made.
Here we get some more of the terrifying old age dying makeup.
This is great. Yeah, I mean he's scary here.
See, this I could have been all right with more of it being in the movie because it's good, well done makeup.
Oh, that's gross looking.
Yeah, it might have been because it was too scary, too disturbing that they cut it out.
If I had to guess, yeah. And so, okay, so this answers the question of where he was digging, because I was really confused about what he was doing. He was digging in his garden and on his outside porch. He's buried the glowing
He's like
MacGuffin.
zombie walking out there.
Yeah. I mean, he's got probably some sort of radiation poisoning, is dying from it. How he gets better from the crystal?
No explanation.
I have one explanation.
All right.
Suppository.
Slides it right up there.
Yeah.
Feeling better in no time.
Superman's like, oh God. The tip's the worst part. Oh God, thank God.
Do you have personal familiarity with that kind of experience? That seemed like
that came from
that came from somewhere deep.
it went somewhere deep.
No, I don't. But I just like the image. I just want to create a mental picture for everyone who's listening. This is Superman sticking that fucking crystal in his ass. I was reminded of the interview when he has to stick the like little missile thing into his butt.
Yeah.
So here's more. There's like this is whole deleted subplot about like Mariel Hemingway and her relationship with Nuclear Man and all this sort of.
So this might actually make that whole thing
Make
with
more
him
sense.
suddenly be in love with her, being
Because
in
he
love
was
with her,
just
make more sense because
suddenly in love with her for no reason.
it was like he
Yeah.
saw the headline
Saw a
in the
picture
paper.
and like, oh,
it was like, oh, that woman! I must have
must
that
have
woman.
I also like that they spelled favorite with the British way. You can tell we shot half this film in the UK. Probably our production designer was British. Didn't know that the Daily Planet would not use the OR.
I also didn't realize that
OU.
we didn't want it to be New York City. We wanted it to be Metropolis, which is not New York City. So why they're throwing the Empire State, not the Empire State, but the Statue of Liberty
He's like,
around?
what is he doing right now? I don't even know what he's doing right now. He's sad.
That's
Lenny.
how he masturbates.
We'll kick the audio on here and see if we can get a. Ooh. This is more of that crappy
Stock
tent music.
footage.
I've got something. It's not ours.
Okay.
They say it's not theirs either.
They're talking about a penis. For people who aren't actually watching the deleted scenes along with us, are like, what the hell is going on?
Like, what are they talking
Really terrible
about?
at describing what they're seeing. Well, what we're seeing is nonsense. That's why.
Yeah, none of it.
Right,
None of
yeah.
it makes sense.
None of it really.
After getting rid of all of their missiles, they're now aiming a missile at Nuclear Man,
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
decided to spin around really, really fast and then fly out.
I think he
into-
gets rejected by Mariel Hemingway. Is what's going on there.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know though. Yeah, this is like the brink of war, and it seems like this was the things are about to get really bad because of Nuclear Man kind of scene, and then just like the movie realized it doesn't have the balls to do something that interesting, so instead it just drops it. And Mariel Hemingway just wanted to be in the movie more, maybe, I don't know. They're leaving. Lex Luthor is apparently leaving. No idea where they're going, but they are gone when we see them again. They're like driving away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this would explain where they go. Superman. Man's like, oh, we're not going anywhere. Superman is just like okay not arresting them, which I don't really understand why.
He just kind of randomly drops in too.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
How's it
How's
going?
it
How you doing?
I use the elevator
Yeah.
because
We're at the Empire Metropolis State Building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's good times. Yep. Zubaman.
More sitting down and talking.
yeah, that great dramatic camera work that this movie is renowned for.
I think he legit like went away because he was sad. I think Nuclear Man like disappeared.
His feelings got hurt. And
His
he
feelings
flew
got
off.
hurt and he like flew off, and like now he's like gonna cause some nuclear incident, which is why he
Wait, did Superman just bring her into space
Yeah.
too?
Is he
Yeah.
taking her to Nuclear Man to make Nuclear Man feel better? Like, here, have a woman.
here's a woman.
This'll cheer you up. Always cheers me up. Just
Yeah.
kiss her afterwards. She'll forget all about
that
it.
was the scene from the cover.
What?
And now you just, what is happening? He just drops her?
Wow, Superman.
It makes no sense.
Asshole move
The
there.
deleted scenes make even less sense. Yeah, this is all about, I think, stopping Nuclear Man and saving the day, and how we almost come to the brink of annihilation because everyone thinks Nuclear Man is a nuclear missile.
Okay.
And then
all right.
and then Nuclear Man chases after them, and then we're back in Metropolis in the finale that we know and love takes place. But again, this was the final act.
Right.
This is what happened in the final act, and the final act got cut, and so none of this is there. He just looks at a picture of Mariel Hemingway and is like, "I want," and then that's it. It's the deleted scenes are definitely not. They don't make the movie better. They definitely help give the movie
They
a sense
answer
of
a few questions.
story structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Right,
answer a few
right.
questions. They give you a sense of story structure, but they definitely do not give you anything else. The movie is just not good at, just not really good at like explaining
Just not really
itself.
good.
And yeah, it's just not really good. It's a
Yeah, you could have stopped the
yeah.
sentence right there.
it's a misfire.
End of sentence.
Which is a shame that it's Christopher Reeve's, final appearance as Superman, though he does get to appear in Smallville.
It's true.
Playing a fairly pivotal role, and so that's kind of cool that he gets to be in the universe again. It's unfortunate that he passed away. Miss him dearly.
Yeah, he was someone that it was good to have him in the world.
Yeah.
And like you said in the other commentary, like this was sort of this movie was a bit of a pet project for him because he was actually questing for peace.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that it turned out as dismally bad as it did.
This movie makes me like war.
This movie makes you
This is what the quest for peace looks like. Let's stick with war.
Yeah.
War's better. War's better.
War. What is it good for?
Good
Superman.
God, y'all.
Superman, that film. Hi guys, I'm Superman. I totally fucked this up, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the school I visited where my penis was accidentally out.
That was a bad move.
Oh hey, Jeremy's in the movie again.
Oh, yeah.
Little conclusion to the subplot, since there's so many drop subplots in this movie. Jeremy being one of them. It's just like, hey. He just steals Jeremy and takes him into space.
Another person out in space.
No one thought, oh yeah, we can't. Space is a vacuum. There's no air. There's
Neil deGrasse Tyson has flipped at least 4 tables watching just these deleted scenes.
Oh my God, I wish Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I know you're not listening, you're too busy. But if you are listening and you want to come on and do commentary for Superman 4 with Mark Pillow, we'll do it.
Oh God,
we'll call
Mark
it
Pillow and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We'll call it Pillow and Grass. And I'm sure Neil deGrasse will be like, "Can we smoke some grass before we do the?"
He flies by other people who are wearing spacesuits and waves.
That was how the movie was originally going to end, with him flying Jeremy to his death in space. I would love to see him I would love to see him fly Jeremy out into space, and he just is like, "What do you think about all this, Jeremy?" And he looks over, and Jeremy's body is imploded, and it's just pure ice, and Jeremy's head just breaks off and falls.
Oops.
Oh shit!
original
That's
ending.
right. That's right. That's right.
I guess I screwed that up.
I don't know where that all came from, but those were the 31 minutes of deleted scenes for Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Or as we like to call it,
Das Streben nach Frieden.
Der Streben nach Frieden. That was those are not good deleted scenes, but they're interesting because they're a very important part of Superman 4:
no,
The
it
Quest for Peace's
explains
history.
a decent number of things about the way the film was originally envisioned, and for the most part, they were pretty terrible, and therefore it was a good thing that they were cut out. I actually think the whole bit about the nuclear man taking them to the brink of war, I think that would have helped a lot.
That would have made the finale work a lot.
Right.
Better.
So that, I think you're right. I think they just didn't have the balls to actually.
I think the
put that in the
Jeremy.
movie.
I think the Jeremy footage is good, and I think the brink of war stuff is good. And I actually kind of like the little bit with the dog as well. Him, barking at the dog is silly.
And this main graphic here was part of the deleted scenes too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carrying her out into space.
Carrying
And
her
then
out
dumping
in-
her.
Yeah,
Just randomly dropping her.
Yeah.
dropping her, and she falls to, pay no mind to the fact that, she'd have no oxygen and would probably just pass out and die or freeze. And,
I mean, it's basically a Halo drop.
he's
just had her do without any kind of oxygen or
training, no oxygen, nothing.
Yeah.
So, those were the deleted scenes of Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. If you have not yet listened to our commentary for Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, I highly recommend doing so. Next week, we're going to be doing, it's going to be Michael and Alex, and we're going to be doing a commentary for Batman and Robin, which is funny because we recorded that commentary like a year ago.
Yep.
And have yet to have dropped it, so it's gonna probably be called commentary time and all that good stuff. But we're gonna drop that commentary and hopefully drop some more fun things, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and look out for all of the fun stuff that we do. I am Randy. You can find me at RL Schaefer Writes. You can also follow Permanently Geek at Permanently Geek on Twitter. Definitely be sure to subscribe to us. Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MichaelMCFMusic, or you can find my website at michaelmcfarr.land.
Boom. Kevin, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kevin_Conaway or at my website at kevinconaway.com.
Excellent. Well, that concludes this week's Watch With Us. Definitely be sure to check back. Thank you so very much for listening.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Goodbye. For now.